Great news on this PAPPA update, the panels are in from Express steel panels. I'll show you that in a sec. They're expressed. Nice back panel there that they've made. Always a good replica based on Ford's original design and licensed by Ford Express then in Yorkshire. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the video. Express panels for the back valance, really good reproduction panels. Here's the back quarter one, we're just marking it up now. You're on Project PAPPA. Here we go. So there's a panel for the back, we've got both sides, back lower. I'm just making a cut template now, so paper gets stuck to the cut line. This was made with a slitting disc, so you never get a straight cut with a slitting disc. They are good. I don't think there's any other tool that would give you a completely straight cut. So you could go with a jigsaw, but a jigsaw blade will be no, this is how you do it. So tape goes over, and then I had a little bit of black marker, so my finger was mucky, which ain't unusual. Then rub the profile line into the paper and the tape. I've also measured down. I've overlaid the panel, clamped it in place, and then marked where the top of the panel is, then marked down to the cut line and transferred those markings across onto the panel itself. And that's an approximate, and this should give us the exact. So what we do, we now copy the marking points down. That's 11. I've numbered them, so we're at 11 here, and then 2 at the end. One's out of the scope because 1 is coming down to nothing. Okay, and this talking to myself always gets Smokey out of his den. He's got a den at the bottom of the tree, and me chatting to you always calls the animal up. Doesn't it, lad? He's too hot for you. He's absolutely melting. 38 degrees then, temperature Celsius. Cats are just melting. They don't know what to do with themselves. Red hot. Plenty of water for them, but they're just hiding in the shade. Bit of Serengeti going on there. So we mark where we are, and then we'll line that up. Let me just mark it again. Smokey distracted me, but that's okay. A welcome distraction. Look at him. Just look at him. So they are in that position. So we line 11 and 2 up on the cut line and transfer all the markings across. That's how I'm going to do it, and then that will give us a line which I'm going to mark in a different pen, because I've done that black line there, but I'm going to mark this. I'm going to cut this with scissors now, then lay it over there. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. It's difficult for me to film for you today because it's very high contrast sun and shadows, which the camera struggles with. Apologies for that. Okay, so that's how I'm transferring the line. It's almost the same as what I've measured bar here. Everything else follows in right. So measuring down for an approximate line, then a template, actually imprint copy laid on top of my measurements shows me that the error that I made was just there. So redraw the line now with a different coloured pen, and then I can cut that, and that should come right up to this. And if we have to shave little bits off with a crocky, we'll do that, but it's a bit tricky, this. I don't want to go to the full extent of the panel because you're only on the edge of the swage line. It's going to be pretty tricky, and I don't want to cut into this metal because there's nothing wrong with it. So that's why I'm doing it like this. So I'm hoping this will get it right and transfer the shape across for us. Let's see how it goes. So just getting it the right way round for your screen, because that's a bit OCD in me. There you go. There you go. Okay, I've transferred that line across, and you can see it follows almost the same as what I've measured, bar that area there. So it did work, so we know that's a good line to cut on. So we'll get on and get the angle grinder just outdoors in the heat and make that slice all the way across that panel, then offer it up and we'll not get the butt clamps in on this, so it's going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll do it. It's going to be a little bit tricky to get this flush without butt clamps, I'm telling you, because you can't get your hands in there. You could have joggled it, but there's some tricky bits around this side. You could joggle there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go with how I know how to do it. and I'm going to cut and we're going to go. Wish me luck. I'm going in. Well, fuel tank's got to come off for this one. We got the panel on, and I managed to just slide these, the butt clamps, Chris's favourites, on. They'll drop out after. I can't get them on here, there's no clearance inside on the inner panel, but we're a good fit there. So I'm going to get tacks on, and then I might be able to slide that across and get a few, but what I'll do, I'll make sure it's really flush. This is open for a bit of distortion, possibly, so we'll have to be really careful with this. We don't want it to wave, so just space the welds out as much as we can to spread the heat. If you keep on going in a line, you'll tend to create a ripple effect with the heat. No matter what you do, the metal will just by its nature ripple. And you could put a fillet piece at the back. I did think about that, but I've decided to chance it this way. Underneath, obviously tank out, underneath is prepped under this line for the spot welder. With the tank out, we should get the spot welder in. Let's come in, join us. So under there, those areas are prepared. I've marked with the red marker whereabouts. I'm just trying to get you in whereabouts the spot weld should be, and I've cleaned the face up so it's metal to metal. Well, weld through primer anyway. Because the sunlight's so strong, the camera tries to do the exposure and you go into shadows. Sorry about that, it's just the way it is. This side on the wing, on the curve of the wheel arch, that's all right. That'll weld in pretty easy. I'm probably gonna actually plug weld that. Spot welder won't get in on that edge. I'll just drill once it's clamped up tight. I'll drill with a spot weld drill bit into the outer edge, that lip, and then weld through that way. Then we'll work on the back panel, the other side, exactly the same procedure. It's a higher cut on the other side. Let's do this bit first and get it out of the way. We need to get some tacks on now. I'm trying to give you footage that you can actually see, simply because, as I said, the light's so strong. So that's where we're at, nice and clean under there. I can see a scuff mark here where the tank is rubbing, so that wants a rubber pad on there. You see you have these pads, that one's stuck on that side and come off the tank, it doesn't matter, that stop metal to metal contact, basically stop wearing a hole through your tank when it shakes about. Also, the little repair, the Pegatanky repair on the sender hasn't worked. It's a good job we did this. It's failed, so there's not many jobs I do that don't work, and that one is. I'm going to have to solder it. That's a job for later. Let's get the welder out, folks. Come on. Okay, couple of tacks going on. We're very flush. We're very flush up here, and actually flush all the way down to that next clamp. So I'm going to seize the opportunity and get another tack in there. Keep feeling it. We're going to get a flat edge just to feel that. You don't want to feel a ridge, so you're going to drag an object down over it. Once you get about, I don't know, an inch apart between them, you're pretty much out of the water, out of the woods, whatever you want to call it. This requires crock sanding the paint off as we go as well to stop a burn back. See, that one didn't have the paint crock sanded off and you get a horrible mess. Here it's much cleaner, so you see how important it is to go along with the crock sander or whatever you want to use to sand it, and just clean as you go and then keep on going. So just getting these initial tacks in. keeping it flush is the most important thing, and stopping it from warping. So I'm going to let it cool off a little bit. There are other methods of doing this. This is my method. It's going to work. And you're actually, funnily enough, using a torch just to help you with a high contrast situation we've got. Express panels then, a good fit. And that panel name there, C3S21. Lower quarter repair. Does go up to the swage line if you need it that high. I didn't want to lose a swage line if I could help it. The other side we will lose a swage line. The rock goes beyond the swage line on the other side of this repair. It's all lining up down the bottom, so it's looking good. I'm pretty happy with this. I think we'll be on pretty quick actually. This is going to be, I'd say this is going to be a pretty easy repair. Here we've got to watch it. You might be able to slide this in a bit further up once again. Oh, and I can only ever tack behind that one, because if you tack this side it will jam it in position. So if we are going to slide this, we'd need to get a tack on that side before we did. I'm not sure if I should do that, because the ripples start to concentrate inwards. It's best to let the ripple go that way. So we might be better just going for this. I mean, that is flush. That is nice. Okay, here we go. I might set you up on the tripod as well. Okay, let's get these. You can see there that it's very nice. I'll just show you what I mean about a straight edge. You want to be able to do that without it catching. So there, it's in a little bit. It's probably slightly pronounced, although I must admit actually wasn't going in straight. There you go, a little bit there, so you push that as you go. So here's good, so we'll go for that next. So I'll keep you on. Lock and load, folks. Another hot day today, 30 degrees, very hot. Welder coming in now. Keep your legs back, it's going to drop down. And that really is all there is to it. Nice. Just tweak as you go. So you get the picture there, all the way along like that. Here, it's definitely coming out, so we've got to go in a bit. Pronounced there, so that's got to come in, or this has to come out. Either way, it's got to go. Good there. it gets skimmed anyway. It's nice to get it right. It probably will have a slight V. You'd be very hard pushed to just weld that and have no skim on it, no matter what you do. We did it on the sills, of course, because I'm only going to create a dent in there. You just got to get it something in the zone. This can come off. Got another one there. You'll see here we've got a bigger gap. You have to fill that with a weld. It's pretty easy to fill those gaps. You kind of like bridge it over. I'm working up with a weld and bringing it down, and as soon as it finds other metal it instantly grabs it, and all you got to do is infill between. That's pretty easy to do, so don't worry too much if you get a bit of a wave where you've made your angle grinder cut and you've lost it a little bit, because you are jiggling it a bit. You can infill that gap quite easy, and from the back it doesn't look too bad. The weld tends to be much more flush at the back. So if you look down on the inside, you are going to see it's had the panel, less so that it hasn't got the fillet on it, of course. But yeah, that's good. I hope the other side cut goes as easy. You don't have to worry about that bit. That guides itself. So on the other side, our biggest challenge will be to do the same what we've done here and get a decent cut in. But we're going to go along there now. You'll see us with a bit more welding. We'll be right back. So as you can see, eventually you fill in all the gaps and you end up with a continuous weld, whilst it's not a weld where you'd be following it with a nice fillet line. you can't do that, it'll just wave all over the place. Here now we've got a good area to flat down. Obviously there's plenty more welds to put in between those. A bit of detailing now. I'll put the torch on. I'm going to get in and detail those now. I'll be right back. Okay, you saw that there. It's still warm. I thought it might scallop in, and it does. It's always a tendency. I've noticed this happen. So that's a skim straight across there, because it does dish in. I've no idea why that happens. It happened on the sills a little bit. It's almost like it sort of curls in, even though you've kept everything flush. It scallops in there. Not a lot. It does go. So that one's boom straight across, but you can see what we've done. That's solid. So we'll get round the other side, and then I'll get the spot welder out onto the bottom. Obviously we don't skim it till it's all nicely tight in. You can see the scallop in there. I suppose it's quite handy to put the filler in, isn't it? Yeah, there will be a technique where you can get that with zero distortion, I would have thought. It's not rippled that way. As I said, it's just come in. But that's a nice line across. There's no point trying to get it so you can't see any weld, because you'll end up grinding through. It's got to be skimmed anyway, so there's no point. You're just making work for yourself. It's not necessary. So that's good. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to get some spot welds on at the bottom now. Okay, join me underneath the car. I've set you up on the tripod there. I'm just going to put my gloves on when using the spot welder. Wear your welding gloves, because then probes get very hot. So we've got the patch that we're going to weld through, spot weld, cleaned on both sides, and then whoops, I hit the camera, sorry, it's a little bit heavy. Boom, you're good to go. Oh hell yeah. Wow, that's nice. Oh yeah, we're good, we're going good. Whew. Yes, I wasn't sure how it would take, but they're taking good. This one might be tricky. There's under seal. I have tried to scrape it away. This could flame. I didn't think that one. Whoa, I knew this one would be tricky. It's gone. Come on. Couldn't quite get that one, just couldn't get it. I knew it'd be hard. There's quite a bit of rot in that corner. Yeah, it's not got it. There's not enough good metal there to get that one. You can't have them all, you can't win them all. We'll get a good run here though. It doesn't always go 100% at the city. Sometimes you've got to accept. Whoa! Oof! You see the idea anyway. We're moving along. Move the torch. Can we get in? Will it go? Will it go, folks? Oh yeah. He's still on? I gotta be careful. I should have my goggles on for this kind of a deal. Boom! And you're good to go. There's another one. Weight training. tight one there, I'll be surprised if I get that. And a horrible underseal one there. This one could be challenging. It's gone. One more in this corner. A lot of underseal in that corner. This one will be smoking. This will smoke. I think it did get it. That's got it. Whoa. Right, we're locked on solid at the bottom there. Nice. See you on the other side. Okay, with a spot welded down that side, very nicely by the way, I'll show you in a minute. This side now, get these type of clamps on. These have got little jaws at the back and a flat face at the front, stop you damaging the front. That squeezes those two together, and what we'll do, we'll drill now using spot weld drill bit. This is a spot weld drill bit, it's a flat drill bit. Okay, so we're going to get the mini drill in, it's just easier to handle than my larger drill. And we're going to take the metal out, so just clout that there. And then we'll start like this. And that gives us access to the metal on the other side. We'll do 4 down there, and that's welded up nicely. A little bit more on this to go. And that's it, you're through. And it makes, I don't drill through the second sheet of metal using the spot weld drill bit. Because it's so shallow, it just takes you through the first layer, then nicely primes the second layer, or cleans the metal up. Through again on that one. Almost. Here we go. There you go. So get the welds in on those. I'll close that up a little bit. A little bit more. There we are. That's right in that now. That one's good. So if we stick this just there, the welder can come in now. Okay, we're all done on and ground back. Took a little bit of paint off the top there because we're going to have a skim of filler on that, so it likes nice clean metal to stick to round the back and down. I had to just put a little slit in here because it was a little bit bulbous, it was a little bit sticking out. So I ain't quite got the panel there, I think. It's definitely not the fitment. So just that corner, I wasn't quite happy with the way it followed through from this. So what I did, I just sliced it and tapped it in and re-stitched it back up and ground back, so I'll just skim over that. Just wasn't quite happy, the panel was coming out a little bit far here for my liking. So I just trimmed that in. It fits correct here though, down the edge, so it landed right on that inner valance lip. Just got to plug that now. It was just that bit curved out a bit too much for my liking. In fact, I wanted it to come straight down. I looked on the other cars and it should come straight down, so they might have just not quite pressed that right. But everything else was perfect, so can't knock them. Express panels, good for what you get, really good. And round there, down that lip, again the contrast not helping us today. So we can carry on with the next. We'll do the other side now. We'll do all the filling in one go. So it's this side next, and we'll go in. You can look at the rock this side, folks. Let's just switch the welder off for a second. Great little welder. Round we go, and here up to the swage line we're damaged there as well. So It's not too bad here, but do we pick just that area out and leave this bit, or we just go right across the top? We have to decide now. I've got to make a decision, so I'm going to give this some thought and I'll be right back to you. Okay, so we make a decision on this side, and I've gone for removing the swage line simply because it was too rotten up to that swage line. We've got the swage line in the replica panel. I've made that cut same as the other side. This was a little bit easier to cut because we were cutting off another section of metal. I was able to use this as the mark line for the cut on top, so it was slightly easier. I've gone and took the corner off it there. I'm just going to trim that in as I go. It's very flush at the moment, so I'm going to get some tacks on. Very happy with this fit here, very good actually, the cut line there. So whilst it's all looking good, and we can get the butt clamps on too, one for Chris, because you can get inside and get them off. I could put one more in here. Do you want to get them off, Chris? Okay, so who's Chris? Crazy Chris, Pluto Motors. Check his channel, Pluto Motors Blackpool, a new YouTube channel, lots of car reviews on there. Okay, so we can get the tacks in, same as the other side. This is ready for, it's cleaned and got the weld through on for the spot welder when we weld the bottom. We'll work our way around here. This is what I mean about the panel. It does slightly kick out, same as the other side, but it will squash in. I've probably just pressed that a little bit over, I think, but a minor thing. Okay, so that's what we're looking like here. Pretty good, to be fair. I think it's going to be nice. I'll probably just show you a little bit of the welding. You've seen the same idea on the other side earlier on in the clip, so I don't know if I'll do it again. I might do. Let's just stick the welder on. It's a bit better exposed this side because we've got the sun on us. I don't know how it's coming across to you. I can see through my viewfinder, but the sun's bleaching out the viewfinder, so it's really, the sun shining on the screen makes it hard to even see that. The camera got that hot, it's actually cracked the glass on my viewfinder as well. The camera was in the sun and it got red hot. It's okay, it's running, but it's cracked the glass straight across diagonally. That's a bugger, because these are good cameras. This is a DJI action cam, by the way. Right, let me blitz on with this. Enough of that waffle. Let's get some tacks on the go. Before I get on with that welding, I just wanted to let you know I did prep the panels with a Ford Primer Brown and the edge out there for the weld through. It's not got primer on that bit, or it's got weld through primer on that bit, so that the spot welder won't be working properly. But spot welder can't get through normal paint. You've got to put weld through paint on. So paint the majority of the area that's not got any welds, and then the rest has weld through on it. That's the weld through. So the silver areas there are the contact points on here for the weld. We won't be spot welding on that bit. I don't think it might get in. It might get in there. We'll have a look. Some of it will be plugged as well. There's a little bit there. They'll definitely have to be plugged. Okay, back onto the other side. So I just want to let you know that I've primed all the panels. Okay. Okay, I'm going in. just going under. I'm just cleaning a bit of gravitex off the inner panel so the spot weld will get through. That one got, I don't think that one went. Good then. Okay, we're looking good there. We're all sanded down as well. I'll show you. We're all done there. Right, we're done with the place. Let it go, let it go. So, there's a couple of pinholes from rust, but the panel's on. It's welded there all the way down. That's solid. We're now welding on the bottom. Spot welds have gone on good. That is solid. I'll show you the craters from the spot weld in a minute. Not the craters, the circles, the burn, the heat when it makes that expanding shape, that sort of sunburst pattern. Now we've got to do the back valance, I think. Let's get set up for the back valance. We've done good there, PC at the controls. And this side was easy as the other side really. That's the coach line. We've got to keep that when we skim. Slightly under there, very flush there. Overall, we'll get it on the skim. Might have to just build that coach line a little bit. The body shop might have to do that for me to get it exactly right. Because they've got to do this dent here, look, the dent in the door. So they've got to do that. Can you see that? And then they're going to do the sills. I just skimmed them in myself. The filler's still proud, so it's got to go in for those kind of things. So I don't need to do too much to this except to just skim it in there for you. The main thing is to get these panels nice and solid. That is solid. Pleased with that. let's get to the back because we're on a roll now. Let's keep going. So we can get spot welds through there. Should be able to. I feel free, baby. Do, 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 do. Right, so it's just the top that needs doing. Everything else is good. So we'll whack as we go. I'm going to trim not a lot of metal off the top. It's going to be quite tricky because it's too narrow to get a decent slit disc on it. So it's going to have to be, I'll probably just use the flap wheel side on and take a bit off that. I'm going to do that now for you, then we'll get this offered up. Okay, I'm happy with the panel fit. Put it on there, and now I've just got these grips on here with the forks that side, pulling the lip, which I've trimmed down now, in, and then cleaning up each area of this upper lip, aiming for the original spot welds. So just taking the paint off the original factory spot welds, I'm going to weld right straight through those. Done a few and it's taking all right. Did a few trials to see and they're all grabbing, so we're just going to carry on the run. You can hear it, that it's got it. So we just go along. I can afford to do 2 hits on this because it's so thick. Glad I'm outside for this. We just go along like that and we're going to get a nice factory look. You wouldn't know it had been changed, hopefully. Just moved the grips now. I did a brake test on just one and it wasn't for going. So with the combined force of all of them, it ain't going nowhere, this panel. So I'm just going to work myself along up this end. Just chisel this in. It is still tight. What we do up here, just bring it in like this, like that, and then we've got to whack it up. It is tight, like that. Snapped into place. That was the one. Saw it jump, and in it went. So we've got the one there. We've got to just clean. You have to crock up each one this way. Bit noisy. If you don't do that, you'll never get through the paint. Should be good there. But we'll re-grip it just to make sure it's really, there's the forks I'm using. These are actually for plug welding, these. Just make sure that goes up. I'm really thirsty. It's amazing how thirsty you get with the heat. It's so hot, folks, out here, as you probably know. That's it. Hell yeah. A home barbecue on the go. Lovely stuff, it's going really well. I'll leave me doing this. So watch this, it gets hot. Here we go. Boom. Stinks. Oh, there you go. All the spot welds are on. Even these ears here. Even these ears. Ears and these ears are done. Across here we're going to get the zip wheel in. Just take the loose paint off that's got burned from the spot welder. That's about it though. We're welded at the bottom, we're welded through there, we're welded on the top, plug welded here to them panels, that's good. The other one needed a little bit of a skim. Before I put this on, I just skimmed it because I'd sliced it to get the shape. This one seems to be perfect. A little bit at the top that I just nipped in, tapped in and filled back, but that's good. Other than that, panel fits a dream. The lower one just needed that lip slicing, lip smacking, first quenching. Pepsi. One more weld to drill, one more weld to do in the middle of the valance panel, and that is it. So we can clean up, get some primer on there next. Okay, now even though it's going into the body shop to have this work painted, I'm just going to paint it for now, just so that when the car's driving about on test and stuff, it doesn't look a complete pull me over mobile. So what I've done, I've scotch padded it down. That's the sort of wire wool type scotch pads. They're like a Brilla pad type thing. Get different grades. Degreased it, went over with some thinners, then degreased it, then etch primed it, and now just I'm not going to flat down the etch primer because it's a body shop job, and it's, you know, you're doing the whole paint job, you're doing the whole paint job, you know. So this will just blend us in. So here we go. Spray liberally, spray liberally, spray liberally. Trying to get the wet lines. I can't paint, of course. Just blends us in, and second pass you wouldn't know anything's been going on. It's not supposed to be top quality paint job, so please don't pull me on this. Please spare me. I've gone over the welds as well. I have prepped it. And we're spot welded in everywhere. Spray liberally. Right, so that just gets us passable, if you know what I mean. Probably looks better on screen than it does in real life. Yeah, that'll do for now, no point going crazy. So that's that. There's a couple of spot welds in the middle that should have been in a straighter line, but I have seen them waving about that level. You can basically put the gun in anywhere you want in there. Bumper covers them, of course, but it's nice to get them right. So the filler on this side, bringing you round, I've just put a second skim on it. It has got a dip in here, but again, it's getting that dent repaired, it's getting this blend, it's getting the sills blended in, so there's no point worrying about that too much at this stage, because it isn't really for me. The reason I don't like doing paint is I don't like the mess, I don't like the fumes, I don't like the dust. You can only really do it outside, and I'm pushing my luck now working outside here. It's time to start bringing this into the garage. Now that it dries, of course, that can be done, and of course winter will be on us, autumn will be on us quicker than you think. It's already mid-August, so once we get to the end of September, you'll be wanting to be bringing this car inside to work on it. Anyway, I'll do a little bit more, blend this one in the same as that side, and that is it for this job. We have completed it. Okay, skim that in, go over it, a little bit of dolphin glaze, let the body shop take over from there. We'll just get the primer on now. I'll colour code it in, they'll probably drop it all back again, but yeah, that's it. I think we're done. I think that's everything we needed to do. I think we're good to go there. Like what we've done with the place, we'll call it a day for this part of the video, and we'll bring you good tidings on the next part. So sup up, Chris, sup your beer. Super chatters, thanks a lot. PayPalers, Patreons, thank you. All the support and the lively chat tonight, good fun on there. Type away, because there might be some bonus footage coming up. Are you going to stay tuned in case there's bonus footage? If not, Pete C signs out for another episode. Battling through the heat wave. Catch you soon. Pete C signing out. Well, I'll show you the paint on. Give me a minute. I'll be right back, and then we are off. Okay, that's it with the paint on and the fill in. We've still got the coach line there, and for my paintwork, not bad. Pete C's no painter. Okay, we'll catch you soon. Hope you enjoyed that repair of this back end and blend. All nice. Catch you soon. Pete C signing out. Over and out. We are signing out. Papa's got a new front end, new back end. Papa's got a brand new back end. See you later.